1 says to solve each equation. Okay, this right here, what you're finding are values that make this true. So, it is very easy to see that -6, if I put -6 in for n, I would get 0 times -14, which is 0, right? So one of my solutions is -6. Agreed? What's the other solution? 8. That's your answer. The shortcut to that is this. If you have two things being multiplied together that look like factors set equal to 0, what do you do to each one of them? N plus 6 equals 0 and n minus 8 equals 0. You set them equal to 0 and you solve for n. So
-6.
And that's it.
That's all you had to do.
For number 1.
See, I went through there and I pulled them out.
And that's why
I just didn't
study
look at the
that.
problem.
You didn't look at the problem, you didn't study, you didn't say, you know what, I understand this when Miss Self is with me. Right? What'd I do with this one? Hello? What do I do with this one?
You take, well, for n, you get 1.3.
How?
You said equal to 0.
Right. So 3n minus 4 equal to 0 and n plus 3 equal to 0 because I have something times something equals 0.
This took me about 30 minutes to figure it out when I looked at it.
So you get 3n equals 4 and n equals 4/3 and n equals -3. That's your answer and that's your answer. 2 answers.
All you do is set it to 0 and work it out.
Yep. All right, number 3. What's different with number 3?
That's when really you said equal to 0.
Well, it is set equal to 0. Does it look like these two? Does it look like number 2?
No.
What's different about it?
It doesn't have the parentheses.
Right.
So
It's not something times something equals 0. So you've got something squared plus 9 times something plus 8 equals 0. Who knows what that is?
you have to factor it out.
Right. I can't guess on those. So I have to make it look like this. How do I change this side to look like your number 2?
P plus 1 in parentheses and P plus 8 in parentheses.
Who needs to see how to factor those? This is your time. This is all I'm giving you is 15 more minutes.
On 4. That one was easy, but 4 was not easy to factor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody need to see number 3? What's my answers then?
P equals -8 and P equals -1.
Okay. Number 4. N squared minus 5n minus 24.
You know you got n times n. And 8 and 3 make 24. I just didn't get the sign about.
Then you got 3n and 8n, and I've got to have a negative, so one of them must be negative. Which one is it going to be?
The first one.
To get negative 5n, the 8. How do you check them?
Can you hang on right there for like 2 seconds?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know how you check them.
You check them by doing what you've been doing for. You take n through, n times n is n squared. N times sorry, I miscopied that. N minus 8 times n plus 3.
Yeah, that's how you check.
N times n is n squared. N times 3, 3n. Negative 8 times n, negative 8n, and negative 8 times 3 is negative 24.
How can you make sure your signs is right? That's
Right
what
here.
me.
You check it just like I did. Because this right here, when you multiply it out, it has to give you what you started with.
Yeah.
Cause I got so confused on this, I don't know, this one just really confused me for some reason.
So, Zach, if you got this,
That's exactly what I got.
well, if you check it,
I did it. It goes n squared minus 3n plus 8n minus 24.
which that does not, this right here is not equivalent to this.
But
'Cause
you have to simplify it down one more, do you know? Because it goes to n squared minus 5n.
This one doesn't.
Well, 8n and 3n is going to be 5n, is it not?
Positive 5n.
Yeah. That's what I missed.
You need it to be negative 5n.
I see.
You can check it that way. You can also check it, which I don't like checking it this way because it's a little bit more work. But if you set it equal to 0, eight is the number that's supposed to work. So if I put 8 squared minus 5 times 8 minus 24, that should give me 0. And it does. So your answers, like you should have got negative 8. When you put negative 8 back in there, it's not going to give you 0.
No, I got n equals 3, which it should be the opposite. Should be
Negative 3 and 8.
Right.
Uh-huh.
All right, number
Simple mistake.
5. 5r squared plus 9r minus 2 equals 0. Does that look like number 1 and 2? No.
You have to,
This is where it all went down.
you not have to factor them out.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you're going to get 5r, r.
5r and r will give you this. What you put here and here has to multiply together to be negative 2.
Yeah.
So what multiplies to be 2?
2.
2 and 1, that's it. To be negative 2, it could be negative 2 and positive 1 or positive 2 and negative 1. But what else has to happen? It has to what? You're right. I have to get what? What number?
9.
I have to get the 9. So what I put here gets multiplied to the 5, and what I put here gets multiplied to 1r. What do I have to put here? 2.
And 1, but you ain't getting no 9.
Yes, I do.
Well,
That's what is confused me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got 9.
How do what does it have to be? Negative 2. So one of these has to be negative and one has to be positive. To get positive 9,
because in the end, once you multiply
One be
them,
positive,
it
and
adds
one's
up.
negative. Well, that's what I had on my paper, but somehow I.
you got what? What's positive on your paper?
2. And the one's negative. Which is right, because I got one that is right.
That's right. Because that gives me 10R and then minus R, which is 9R.
Where did you get 10
5 times 2.
Oh,
Right? When I'm checking it, 5R times R is 5R squared.
Then you go minus
5R times 2 is 10R. Negative 1 times R is negative R. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. So that is the 9R. I've checked it, right? So now I set both of them equal to 0 and solve.
Which are negative.
Questions?
Nope.
Number 6.
You gonna do 7A and A. You gotta find something that's gonna give you 64 and 64. Which your factors of 64 is gonna be 1 and 64, 2 and 32, 4 and 16, 6. 8 will go in 8. Nope, and that's it.
That's it.
How-
So everybody see how you got this list of numbers? Those are the only combos that can go here.
And
If it factors.
they have to give you 64.
So whatever goes here gets multiplied by 7. Whatever goes here gets multiplied by 1A. So it has to be a positive 64. So they either both have to be positive or they both have to be negative.
They gotta both be negative because your first number's a negative. And
You're
two
right.
negatives make a positive.
You're right.
at the end. So it's gonna be,
Can I put 64 here?
you can,
I can. Is it going to work?
no,
No, because 7 times 64 and then a 1 is huge.
yeah. 7.
Anybody? Quit, Adam, pay attention.
8, that won't work either.
8 and 8 won't work.
No, because 7 times 8 is 56. Then
Well,
8.
7 times 8 is 56.
Yeah, well, that's
Negative
it.
8 is what I
Because 54 plus 8.
That's 56A and 8A.
50, yeah, that's right.
Right.
It's gonna be 64. Hey,
So what does that mean?
that means
What signs? Do I
negative and a negative.
Zach's understanding the signs. I hope everybody else is. Does anybody have questions?
Adam's mind blown right now because he realized why he got it wrong. Because he didn't set it equal to 0 at the end.
I did it right and everything.
Did you get one check?
I only got one X.
Yeah.
I see.
I gave you credit for factoring.
Oh,
So that's it.
I know this is going back, but
Hold on just a second. Let me finish this one.
okay.
So this one's correct now. I've checked it and everything. So now 7A minus 8 equals 0. A minus 8 equals 0. Are there any questions on how those are the answers?
I put 1.14 instead of 8 over 7.
Did I count it wrong? Okay. I'll give you some credit on that one.
What?
Now, before you move, number 7 through 10. If you look at these and study without me so you don't get confused from 24 hours.
We're gonna take this test tomorrow?
No. You need to set it equal to 0 before you start. So number 7, add the 908. Subtract the 82 on number 8. Add the 3 on number 9, so on and so forth.
You're a rocket scientist.
Who are you talking to?
You should have been